So good to see you. I have missed you since this time yesterday. Yes, yes, it is. So, cross training, we talked about that. Oh, wow. See this? Warm up and cool down. That is one. If you wrote warm up as for one and cool down as for the other, you only get half of it right. All right? I'm being generous today. Your quiz today was worth 100 points. You got 50 points for your name, and each question then was worth 5 points. That is my generosity today. Tomorrow, since everybody did not make 100, tomorrow it goes to the real 10 points, and we will continue this until everybody gets it right. Okay? Well, you'll have your test by then, but we will continue with this quiz. All right, we talked about physiology warm up. Where are we at? All right. Huh? Most frequently, the antagonist, we talked about that. The purpose. Purpose as far as warming up, reduce possibility of muscle tears. Oh, we got to this point yesterday because we said the transmission of nerve impulses speed up as well. So that's remember sending it from the CPU down to the brain, which is your computer, sending it down line, which is your Ethernet cord, and then coming back up is faster when you're warmed up. So everything is positive when we do a warm up. So check this out. What's your question? Exactly. You will run faster. You will be less susceptible to injury. Absolutely. So, why? Why is it bad for you? Well, let me get to this lesson, and we'll get all that covered up. All right. So we're in track season now, right? We've been seeing these guys that come in. Oh, I've got my quads are hurt. Oh, my hammies hurt. Oh, my calves are hurt. These are the same guys that play football, aren't they? For the most part, we don't see these things in football, right? In football, they go down and they warm up before practice. Football games, what do they do? They go. Don't you remember that portion of your job? Warm up. Are they out there sprinting like crazy? When they come back in and you're giving them their chews, right? Are they sweating? They're sweating like pigs. Although pigs don't sweat, I understand that. Okay, but yes, they're sweating. So they're warmed up. How can they go out and play a game of football then if they go back in there and sit down for 15, 20 minutes? No, they didn't. No, that's not. No, because that'll last at least 30, sometimes 40 minutes. So why is it that in track that they go out and we have them come in with these muscular tendinous injuries that we're not seeing with these same children while in football? What? You don't do it right. Dynamic stuff, you're running down trying to kick your behind with your heels. Dumb. Absolutely dumb. Especially if you haven't done a warm up. So let's talk about a warming up. Jogging, easy running, general exercises. But what you've got to do is you've got to break a sweat. Warm up is not doing something dynamic like this or like this to warm up. That's got momentum going with it. It's just not good. And the muscles are cold. Don't do something dynamic to warm up. Do something basic, jogging, running easily, general exercises such as calisthenics. Do some up downs. What are they called? Burpees. Okay. Do some of the. I know I don't like them either, but so do some burpees. Do some jumping jacks. You're not going to get hurt doing jumping jacks. All right, as long as you don't turn your ankle. Procedures should minimize or mobilize the body for action and make it supple and free. All right. Must be sufficient in duration and intensity to raise the deep tissue temperatures without causing fatigue. Okay? So you're not going to go and say, my warm-up is going to consist of running 3 miles. No, yeah, I got the same look when he said that. Right. So when your athlete is sweating, they have raised internal temperature to the desirable level. Now, you got to be smart. If you're out there in 103-degree heat, it's not going to take near as much to warm up as what it will if you're out there in 33-degree heat. Okay? Also, if you're out there in 103-degree heat, just because you start sweating doesn't mean that you're warmed up. So be smart. All right? After completing your general exercise progress to those that are specific for events and activities, don't do exercises such as bowling if you're not going to be bowling. All right? Be specific for your stuff. It also helps you get your mindset ready for the ball game. Okay? So, start at a moderate pace, and the effects of warm-up may persist or last up to 45 minutes, just like we were saying. So when they go inside after they warm up and they go back out, it's not 45 minutes. What is it?
So they don't pull muscle. They stay on the ground. It's like kind of like
Sumo, yeah. Well, they do some stretching, but we'll get into that too. Okay? So you got 45 minutes, and although the warm-up is to game time more beneficial, the closer it is to game time is more beneficial. Sometimes we don't have that luxury. The other thing about it, though, is that when you warm up, okay, when you're doing your warm up, you don't want it to be, you want to be able to recover so you can then go again. So if you're a sprinter and you've just done 3 laps around the track, you want to make sure you keep walking, bring your heart rate back down, get it going. All right, we're ready to go again. Get your breathing back, you're ready to go. So you got to cool down once you get done with exercise. This applies to exercise or gradually diminishing your intensity that follows strenuous work and permit the return of circulation to the various body functions of pre-exercise level. Do you understand what I'm saying? You want to get your circulation to slow down. Okay. So, you know where they go out there and they do running sprints? And then as soon as they get done with the sprints, what are they doing? Huh? They walk. Okay. What about the other ones that go, and they bend over? Huh? They're out of shape. But here's the other thing about it is, does your body have enough blood in it to do everything your body can do?
yes.
All at one time?
No.
Well, you said yes. Now you say no. Which is it? Huh? See, that's why you play Jeopardy poorly. Okay. No, it does not have enough blood in the body to do everything your body can do at one time. All right? So, let's talk about Thanksgiving. It has nothing to do with athletics. Okay? All right, so where was I? Just like at Thanksgiving, everybody thinks it's tryptophan. Have you ever heard of tryptophan with turkeys? Sure. What's it supposed to do? Let's make you tired and go fall asleep until you're not watching the football games, right? No, it's a natural thing inside. Anyways, you girls don't know about tryptophan, we won't even talk about it. Thanksgiving dinner, right? Men in the house, they go in there and they eat them a whole bunch of food, and then they want to sit down and take it, but they end up taking a nap. Exactly. Well, what's going on there?
It's the energy, transformation.
Huh?
Transformation.
You're slowing down?
That's why you're trying to. It's
No. Let's go back to what we said just previous. Do you have enough blood to do everything in your body all at the same time? Where's the blood going after you ate your great big turkey dinner? To your stomach. Very good. Where is it not going to? Exactly. If you don't have as much blood in the head, you don't have as much
Energy. Breathing. Breath.
oxygen. You don't have as much oxygen. You are
Tired.
exactly. So that's the same thing with here. Okay? So I'm running along, right? And I'm doing all these sprints. Okay? And then all of a sudden I just stop. What muscles have been taking the blood? Your legs and your arms. Right. So if I've got all of this in my arms and in my legs, well, you still got some to your head. But, all right, I've routed everything out to the extremities. Okay? Since I've routed it out there, I need to try and help get it back into a central location or into a bigger location so that the heart can pick it up. So 'cause that's called pooling. The blood will pool in your extremities. Okay? Yes. So you can walk with your arms up. You use the gravity to help pull it towards your core, towards your body. Get it out from in there. All right? Why? Because what is the byproduct with all this exercise?
Oxygen.
No, I went out. I didn't go in.
Exhaling.
Carbon dioxide. So if I've got blood full of carbon dioxide instead of oxygen, it's going to take longer to recover. So when you get done, from 30 seconds to a minute of jogging, followed by 3 to 5 minutes of walking, permits the body to affect the necessary readjustment. So just because you're done with the ball game, you're done with your sprint, you're done with your deal, doesn't mean you're done with taking care of your body. Okay? Jog a little bit. Now let's walk. Don't stop. Put on the big drama cap and go, oh, because I see that at junior high meet several times, and I'm just going, what? Well, yeah, okay, maybe that. Talk to the hand. Okay, so our cool down physiologically, how the body affects itself physiologically. An important reason for cooling down is that the blood and the muscle lactic acid levels decrease more rapidly during active recovery than during passive recovery. Not only do you have carbon dioxide, but one of the other things that you get that's a byproduct, no, lactic acid. Lactic acid. Uh, huh? Has nothing to do with gas. It's breaking down the ATP, the Krebs cycle. Lactic acid is a byproduct of burning your calories. It gets built up in the muscles, and then you get sore. Get rid of keeping the lactic acid levels down. Now, here's another thing about lactic acid. Lactic acid is not a great big friend to the body's pH system. Okay? So, when we have football start in August, right? We always get about 6 to 10 kids. They come in and they say, I think I pulled a hip flexor. Okay? And so we'll feel and see if there's a hip flexor that's pulled. Or you go along and you find, if you know where your lymph nodes are, and you find that that lymph node is, yeah, you have them in your neck, under your arm, all over the place. But one of the other places is right there in your hip. So you feel, and if it feels like a great big hard marble, your lymph nodes are full because the lactic acid needs to be cleaned out of the blood. Since it's got to be cleaned out, if you're not helping it get through and you're trying to prevent the lactic acid buildup, your lymph nodes have to fill it up. What are lymph nodes? Yeah, they're little places all throughout your body, and they're connected within what system? Don't probably lymphatic. Yes. So, but they work hand in hand with circulatory. Okay, blood's got to take stuff in. So, if my levels of lactic acid are too high. Okay? What's the best way of doing it? Let's take it to a trash can, hold it into a trash can until the trash man comes, right? Sort of like what you do at house. No, no, no. What are you so confused about?
I have
In it here. The gum. So do you really think that your blood does not pick up trash that runs around in your body? It does it not? Oh, I think I'm a big shot. I'm going to go drink today. Okay? So here I am drinking today, and is that poison to my system? Actually, it is. Alcohol kills brain cells. Okay? Yes. So it kills brain cells. So there I am. I got to get rid of it. The liver takes rid of some of it. If it's too high, it goes to the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are trash cans throughout. If you've got trash in your body, it goes to the lymph nodes. That's why they get swollen when you get sick.
Oh, okay.
Because you got to get rid of the trash. But you can't get rid of the trash, but only at a certain time. I mean, certain intervals of time. You can only get rid of so much at a time. Sort of like at the house. You've got 2 trash cans. That's all they're going to take. Sometimes you've got more trash cans. So you have them lined up. Well, I got more trash than what the trash company will take. I'll put them in this trash can and wait until next week. Okay? Eventually, you'll get rid of all the trash. Well, that's the same with these lymph nodes. The lactic acid builds up in the blood, and the lymph nodes get all swollen, and they think it's a pulled hip flexor. But it's not a pulled hip flexor. It's a swollen lymph node. All right, where do we get off of this? Oh, because we were talking about lactic acid. So active recovery helps keep your lactic acid down, which then also helps not have your lymph nodes swollen. So keeps your muscle pumps active. So if I'm moving my arms and my legs, not only is the circulatory doing their job, but the muscles are help pushing the blood back to the heart. So now you recover faster, and you don't have the pooling where it just sits here and the lactic acid builds up in the muscle. Got it? Kinda. Flexibility. Here I am flexing. Oh no, that's not me. All right. The ability to move a joint or a series of joints smoothly and easily throughout the full range of motion. A lot of this is genetics. Some of it is stretching. Genetics is the major part. If you're an oak, are you ever going to be a pine? No, you're not going to. Oak trees are really hard wood. Pine trees are soft wood. You see them sway. 2 different types of deals. Same with people. There's people who have the ability to be flexible, and then there's those that just don't get it. And that's from thousands of years of your ancestors. So the lack of flexibility results in uncoordinated or awkward movement and predisposes the athlete to muscle strain. So we've all seen somebody who runs really awkward, right?
Yeah.
So, huh? Usually because they can't get their legs out because their hamstrings are tight. Or they can't get that. Is that even running? Yeah. So, so that, where they say, he throws like a girl because he's not really getting out there, right? He's just, exactly. All right? How about low back pain? It's also associated with the tightness and musculature of the lower spine and the hamstring and the quads. There's an old song. They used to sing it all the time. Matter of fact, it was on pop radio, WIP 560 in Philadelphia. Foot bone connected to the ankle bone connected to the shin bone. Y'all, yeah. Have you heard this song? Okay. Well, it's true. They're all connected. They're connected through muscles and tendons and ligaments. So if I'm tight in one place, think about this. All right. If I put a heel lift in one shoe, right, and I don't put a heel lift in the other shoe, what happens to my hip? I'm unbalanced. Okay. What happens to my back? I'm going to get a curvature because the hip's this way, so it's sending it this way, but the back wants to be straight, so it's going to curve back to be straight. I know. I know. So we got to try and keep it level. That's what the body's trying to do. But not only if that's just a mechanical deal, what if my hamstrings are real tight? How about if your quads are real tight? Okay? So your quads, those muscles in the front, your hamstrings, the muscles in the back. No, but if these are real tight here in the front, they connect here to my iliac crest. What's it going to do to my iliac crest? It's going to pull it forward. What's going to happen to my behind? It's going to stick out. What's going to happen to my back? It's going to curve way up. It's called, we call it lordosis. Yeah. So if I don't take care of what flexibility that I have, I can actually see underlying problems show up because of how it affects the hip one way or the other, how it affects the quad, how it affects the patellar tendon. All of those all play a big part in flexibility. So good flexibility is essential to performance, or good is essential to successful performance. So we just got done saying, though, if you're an oak, you're an oak. And if you're a pine, you're a pine. But here's the whole thing. Whatever you were given through your massive genes or whatnot, you need to either keep or try to mildly improve it. So how many times do I need to stretch a day? Nope, you're not close. Absolutely not one. 6 to 8 times a day. If you don't stretch 6 to 8 times a day, pretty much just keeping what you got, and pretty much that's it. 6 to 8 times a day. Knock it out. I don't know when. How about as soon as you get up? There's one. How about right before you go to bed? There's two. All right? I've already gotten 25% of your stuff done. How about you find things that are triggers? Oh, dinner time, 5 minutes, Mom. Up in 5 minutes, you've got your third time. If it's your chore to put up the laundry, as soon as you get done with laundry, reward yourself. Go stretch. Okay? How about you can find a time after practice? There's 5. You only need to find 2 to 3 more times. Just find triggers that set it off to what you need to do. Okay? Range of motion. We got time. We have active range of motion and we have passive range of motion. Active. Think about this. That kid was really active. What's he doing? Sitting on the bench?
Moving his muscle.
He's moving. So it's you actually moving your muscle. Okay? Okay. So, stand up. Okay? So what I want to see here is we're going to find her active range of motion for her elbow. All right? Hold your elbow out. All right, active range of motion. Yes, all the way back, as far as you can go. There you go. This.
Oh.
Yes, that's her active range of motion. Now, she hurt her elbow last week. Not really. We know that because we just saw her do that. Okay? Now that her elbow's hurt, you can stop here. Your active range of motion, that's all she's got. She's got less than 90 degrees of active range of motion. Active range of motion is how much motion do you have that you can do on yourself. Got it? Understand what I'm saying? You're being active. Passive. You're not doing it. I'm doing it. Yes, someone else is helping you. So, your active range of motion then was right here. Oh my gosh, you've got about 80 degrees. Okay? You're at 0. That's 90. So you're at 0. You get to 80 degrees. All right? Now, is it because 1, she's sore? 2, is there a mechanical blockage? Is there a piece of cartilage or tendon or something that's blocking the movement? Well, let's go find out. Or is she just a wimp? So she gets to there, all right, and I say, relax your arm. I do this. Now it's my turn. And I can push it past there. Okay? That's as far as she can go. I can push it past there. That's your passive range of motion, is when someone is moving the limb for you. Active, you're doing it yourself. That's not active. If I'm pushing it, if it's assisted, if I'm pushing it, it's passive. Okay? You got this? Okay. Let's see, did I break this? No. All right, let me see time. I got 5 more minutes, which is great. There's 3 types of stretching. Okay? 3 types. Static, ballistic, and push the black button. The ballistic, static, and proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Ballistic is repeating bouncing motion. Would you want to do ballistic stretching?
No.
Why? Huh? Just bouncing. You know, that'd be like trying to touch your toes, but you keep bouncing a little farther. Ballistic stretching. Do you think that's a good way to stretch? The absolute worst way to stretch. How about static stretching? Stretch to an end point and hold it. Static stretching. That is where you stretch to an end point and hold it. Is this a good way of doing it?
Yes.
Absolutely yes. All right. And the last one is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. And it uses alternating contractions and stretches. All right. So let's say we want to stretch your shoulder. We're going to go through a PNF pattern. We're going to go out. He would be laying down. We'd go out, and then I'd say push against my hand this way, and then he's going to contract. And then I want you to give me resistance, and so we go back, and you go back and forth. There are patterns for all sorts of places in the body for your PNF. All right, those are your 3 ways. Know that I don't condone ballistic stretching at all. I think it is. All right. All right. Tomorrow we'll start against agonist and antagonist. We talked about them briefly the other day, didn't we? Now we're going to break them down into their roles.